Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Today we're gonna share with you a download of ours that we got a few days ago. I feel that quite a few of you would be able to refer to it.
Yeah. Without going into details, it is technically the first sensation that leads to twin flames want to be together for the first time, and then the sensation for why are we together? I want to come out.
And all the issues and difficulties that we pass through the twin flame journey. Seeing things energetically, what all the stages we went through together, all of a sudden we realized that when we met, it's like we became a new cycle together, a brand new cycle. So, which means it means that we all of a sudden became children again. And that's actually very typical, I think, for generally new beginnings, but with twin flames it's very well expressed. So it's almost like when you meet your twin flame, you go back to your childhood times, and it's like, I don't know how to deal with this life. I don't know how to deal with this connection, with this relationship.
Yeah, with this being.
With this being. Who is that being?
Who is this being? There's just a thing though. When we just before we met, we were on spiritual awakening, specifically Kundalini and stuff. We kind of activated something within that made us go back to our inner child somehow. Mm-hmm. So this helped very much.
The first stage.
Yes, the first stage
of being children.
Yeah.
Because that's just the beginning. And the more time passes, the more you are going through the stages of life, which means like after a few years, you already entered the, let's say, the teenage years with your twin flame partner. And then comes the adulthood eventually.
Yeah.
But until adulthood enters, what do we say about teenage years? This is when the hormones are formed and all this, and people start to behave strange, and they change a lot, and many times they have misunderstandings with their parents during this time. It's exactly for the same reason. All the things that we go as in twin flame union, or even if we are not in a twin flame union, these stages are still going on.
Yes, we start to get more responsibilities, and also I have a suspicion this is where the family kicks in and starts to say, I don't think this is for you. You have to quit or change something in your life, because they are seeing that their child, that you're changing, you're becoming different, or I mean, for their eyes, you are not doing what you're supposed to. But even though you are, if this is your true twin flame, obviously you're doing the correct thing. It's just that we are changing. We are becoming more children to the eyes of our family, mm-hmm. and becoming like irresponsible in a way, because we start to travel into weird places and we want to spend
or do random stuff,
which
doesn't seem logical to the others.
Yep. And to dedicate a part of our lives into something very weird. But if the higher self and Kundalini are telling us to do some of these things for us to learn something or remember, then so be it. But it's in the eyes of our families, they just don't understand. They think we are insane or not okay or something like this.
I just got another download as well. So all the stages we go through with our twin flame, once we meet, these are we are actually pulling out the traumas that were built up during the certain age of our previous lifetime. which means when we are going through the childhood with our twin flame partner, we start to pull our childhood traumas from each other.
Yeah.
And they come to the surface, and we start to have even memories many times of certain periods of our lives. Before and after the twin flame, memories will be coming to the surface all the time. And when a memory comes to the surface, it means there's something that the brain is trying to heal. Most of the times we don't understand it. We just perceive it as, oh, this reminded me of that. Let's say that whenever time I was whatever, or I experienced something. But as a matter of fact, these memories are related to some kind of emotional attachment or trauma. And in the times when the memory comes up to the surface is when the brain, the nervous system, is trying to reset itself to heal again. So at the beginning of your twin flame journey, it's very natural that your childhood traumas and attachments are going to come up more to the surface. The more it goes at a higher level, the more it will be the traumas that were formed during the teenage years. It's spoken that most of the traumas that we experience and emotional blockages, we form them as children. However, in my personal observations, from working with other people and on the people around me and on myself, I believe that we actually form traumas all our life. We are in a
That's
constant...
true. I believe that more than just childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm. We're in a constant journey of making new traumas and letting go of previous ones. That's why it is actually so difficult, and it seems like an ever-ending journey. And it technically is. So the more you actually advance with your twin flame journey, the more time passes, the more you will be approaching past life traumas. So you will start from your childhood traumas and blockages, whatever, from this lifetime. It will move on to the ones later on formed in this lifetime, and then it's going to step even forward, and it's going to deepen further from others that you formed in previous lifetimes. This will also include the people that you meet with your twin flame, because all the people that you meet with your twin flame, they are very much related to previous lifetimes, and you are actually fixing things with them, whether in a positive or negative way, doesn't matter, looking so. Because it's never positive or negative, it's just resolving it, that's what it is. All these people, they will be also helping additionally into bringing new blockages coming to the surface just when you're ready to let them go. Now, Kundalini is a very intelligent energy, and these blockages will never be given to us to deal with if we're not ready. We said that many times, and I'm sure you heard it, and many times it doesn't seem like so. We feel like we are overburdened. As a matter of fact, this looks so only because we are resisting and persisting in a way.
Yeah.
And if we work with the energy, if we go with the flow, things will release much easier and faster, and it will be not so painful.
We have to combine all the things together. Obviously, you will never understand all of them. Depends where you go in your stage, in your journey. The inner child is something delicate. We cannot just understand it like this with a few words. We need to experience it. And some people, they never experience the inner child. There's people, for example, in my Portuguese channel, saying, what is the inner child? I'm like, okay. I thought like everyone knows what the inner child is. So it's a never-ending process that never truly ends, because we are constantly back and forth with adult life and inner child. You cannot experience the inner child while you're in your adult life, like for example friends that just don't care about these things, or when you go to your job. So we constantly have to have a relationship with the inner child, and the twin flame is going to help this tremendously. And like Petya said, it even goes beyond previous lifetimes with other people and stuff, because for example, if you're damaged in a previous lifetime, you're gonna carry this damage, and you might not be able to even connect with your inner child properly just because of this.
Yes.
For example,
You built like a shield around you. So the energy healing is an amazing tool that has helped us a lot, and we really vibrated with the choose energy healing specifically. It's one of the best tools and techniques that you can use as well in your healing journey. We most definitely recommend that.
Yeah, it helped us tremendously. I cannot imagine to do all over again what we went through without the energy healing.
Yes. Pretty much all the other things we did, they helped us. Also the yoga, meditation, and the Tai Chi.
Past life regression.
All this helped. You just have to feel what is your thing.
We were just
go for it.
trying to feel what is serving us, what is not. Technically,
Yes.
we tried a little bit of everything.
Yes. But we stuck mostly to the energy.
Yes.
And that's all for today, I think. If you have any questions, put them down below, and if they're worthy, if we consider them worthy enough, we may even make a video.
Yes, that will be fantastic.
Based on that. See you soon, guys.
See you. Ciao.
Love you.